So again, I did a video on the Champions League predictions, but I had to remove the video because at the last second I had to cash out of a parlay that had Milan because the only guarantee in that match was that it was going to finish under 2.5 goals, and it did finish in under 2.5 goals, and I would have not been surprised to see Newcastle get a result. I would have even saw Newcastle win because of the fact that it's Newcastle that's Gematria 30. But nonetheless, Newcastle did get a result. The match ended in a draw. And here we are with the predictions for the Champions League. I do like Harry Kane to score first against Man United. Man U is Gematria of 13. Harry Kane. Kane is Gematria 13. Taking a look at Bayern Munich for the season. Bayern Munich are definitely going to score their 13th goal against Man United. So, Bayern are due for at least a couple of goals. And who knows if Harry Kane already gets a brace to put put Bayern up 2-0. But Erik ten Hag in the Champions League is 98th loss all time, facing Champions League opposition. Champions League champions is Gematria of 98. Interesting note about the Gematric influence over the world of football. Ten Hag is Gematria 50 of 28. United is Gematria 28. Erik ten Hag is Gematria of 98. That's also Gematria of Red Devils. He's coaching the Red Devils, and his 98th loss is going to occur in Champions League opposition. Champions is Gematria of 98. But a look at the all-time stats in the UEFA Champions League. We need to go to defeats. So most defeats in the Champions League. We go to it. Man United have 64 losses in the Champions League right now. Man United's 65th loss in the Champions League is going to occur against Bayern. That is certain to happen, because Bayern is Gematria 65. So Man United, they're going to lose their 65th match in the Champions League all time against Bayern. Also against a former manager of Chelsea Football Club, which is Thomas Tuchel. He won the Champions League with Chelsea. Actually, Chelsea Football Club is 66. I keep thinking it's 65. It's actually 66. But anyways, Man United 66 lost the Champions League after losing to a former Chelsea Football Club manager. And now Napoli and Braga. We're gonna go to matches won in the Champions League. I mean, 44th win, champions Gematria 44. I mean, if Man United do get blown out, if they drop points against Burnley, I can see Ten Hag being fired with 43 wins because Eric is Gematria 43. But if Bayern are going to score 2, they're not giving up more than a goal to Man United. Let's face it. It's going to be a long day in the office for the Devils. Bayern this year in all competitions. So it's their 59th season in the Champions League. It's London, England. That's Gematria of 59. So their 59th consecutive season in the German football. I do like Bayern to play in the final, even though Man City's my predicted team to win. It's going to be 4 wins and 1 loss and 1 draw. That's kind of the Gematria of the Devils, the Red Devils of Man United. The Devils is Gematria 41. So my tip I like Bayern to win 3-1. Champions League finals at Wembley, and also it's Kane that's Camacho 31. So the fact is, I like Bayern to win 3-1. Bayern are gonna have no problems. And then 6 matches, 4 wins for the season for Bayern. They can face off in the final against Manchester City, or try to be the next champion of the Champions League after Manchester City. So overall, a win is on the way for Bayern, and there should be very little to no problems for the Bavarians going up against Man United. Now, Napoli and Braga, Portuguese club. You never know what you get with the Portuguese club sometimes. This is away from home for Napoli. Notice how Napoli's next opponent is Bologna. I'm going to show you how that is going to be significant. Wins in the Champions League, it is Napoli that has 29 wins in the Champions League. I like Napoli to get their 30th win before facing off against Bologna in Serie A in the Campionato. Bologna is Camacho 30, so Napoli can get their 30th Champions League win before facing off against Bologna. And then they could go for their 31st win in the Champions League against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, or I should say Madrid, is Camacho of 31. Inter are not going to have any problems with Real Sociedad because they have been blowing everybody this year. Real Sociedad is in European football. Sociedad in European football in the Champions League. They allowed their 30th goal against Inter. It's Inter that's Camacho 30. If they allow 2, Inter, they did finish runner-up to Man City. Man City 31. They're going to try to make it back at Wembley. They were finalists last year. The finals at Wembley. That's kind of how you interpret that. So, I mean, Sociedad are just... They did well last year, but it's just not going to be strong enough. If they do score their 25th goal in the Champions League... or in Europe would be against Italia 25. So I mean overall their 35th loss to Inter in Champions, but I definitely back Inter to win. We'll see if this match ends in 1-1 or if Inter if they get the clean sheet too. This is a match that's away too. We also say that is Camacho 96, 9 wins and 6 losses, but very, very hard to see that happen. Let's just go to manager quickly. I mean, I do like Inzaghi when his 74th match as manager in the Champions League. The final is at London. They're going to try to make it back to London, and Inter's last Champions League title it was against FC Bayern. So overall, as it relates to Inzaghi, it should be no problems. His 63rd loss with Sociedad in his 2 matches can happen against a former manager of Lazio, Inzaghi. It is Lazio that's Camacho 63, so I kind of like that interpretation too. But I'll go to Inzaghi I should see Simone Inzaghi. Simone is 30, Inter is 30, and Gamaccia manages Inter. So, right there, 74th win. That's kind of what I see for Inter tomorrow. 3 points for Inter, 0 for Sociedad. Inter is Gamaccia 30. Inter will be a perfect 5 for 5 for the year, I think. No other matches. They just played the Serie A, and I think all contenders in the Champions League are going to go, well, except for Bayern, though, obviously. But in Man City, they didn't win the Community Shield. But Inter, they should go 5 for 5. 5 for 5 with the final at Wembley. They're going to say they're one of the contenders if they've been blowing everyone out in the water. So that's kind of what's happening for them right there. Arsenal and Eindhoven. Let's go to Arsenal and European football quickly. Nothing stands out with the Champions League record, to be honest, just yet. I would like to go to Arteta and the Eindhoven manager. The Leverkusen manager. Let's see, 9 matches, 8 wins for the Eindhoven manager. It's going to be a tough match for Arsenal, even though it's at home. Gunners, Camacho 98. Also, it's been 6 years since Arsenal were in the Champions League. I mean, if his goal differential is 21, then that's the Gamaccia title. Let me just go to Arteta quickly. I mean, I can see Arsenal dropping points. I can see a 1-goal victory, honestly, for Arsenal. $108th win in Champions League. Freemasonic is Gamaccia 108. That win back in the Champions League, I do like how 108 makes a lot of sense for that. Let's go to your last game is the Europa League. The Europa League champion back in the Champions League. I do like Sevilla to get a good start. They played a very tough Super Cup against Manchester City. Well, it ended a 1-1 draw. Obviously, Lens are newcomers. Some players of Sevilla left, but if Sevilla score first, it's 8 goals, 9 allowed for the season. Sevilla FC is Camacho 89. If they have 2 wins in 6 matches, it's Sevilla by itself. That's Camacho 26. So I think Sevilla are going to do very good to win the game. So I will back Sevilla uh, to win. Hopefully, some Argentina players do very well. Like, well, Campos doesn't play for Argentina, but Acuna does. So Lomaro, he wasn't on the squad. Yeah, you have Jesus Navas, who's really good, and Yasri, so Suso play for Milan. Vice versa, Sergio Ramos making this big uh, playing in the Champions League, getting back home to Sevilla. So ultimately, with the Sergio Ramos, I have to see something special happening for Sevilla at home.